Welcome to the RBC Heritage Golf Report on WHHI-TV. Coming up, Boeing makes its presence known today with its 787 Dreamliner flyover on the 18th fairway. Also ahead, a look at the 14th hole at Harbortown Golf Links from a man who knows it well. And new sponsors mean a whole new look here at the RBC Heritage. We'll take a peek at some of the hot items up for sale in the merchandise tent. It's Friday, and that means some of the players will be heading home today after their round, but not Carl Peterson. He birdied the 18th hole to end the day at 7 under par.
Yeah, I love this golf course. I've been coming here for 10 years, and I've had some good finishes, and I've also missed the cut, but it's a great golf course. I really enjoy playing it. It's probably my favorite one of the year, so I'm always happy to come back here and play.
You're in a good position at 7 under. How's it look for you the rest of the way?
Yeah, I've still got a long way to go. My game's good. In golf, we still got 2 days, which is a long way to go in golf. And I'm just happy to be playing well and hopefully have a chance on the weekend.
You've got Sunday conditions during the week already.
Yeah.
You like that?
I think so. It makes this course play even better, It's firm, it's fast, it's no pushover by no means. We got lucky with a playing late yesterday and early today. We didn't get much wind, but I was lucky to take advantage of that, and it's going to be even tougher on the weekend, so I look forward to that challenge.
Boo Weekley has won before here at Harbortown, and he's in the hunt to do so again. He posted a 6 under par after today's round.
I only missed one bad drive today, and then I hit a lot of good iron shots and missed a couple short putts that I thought could have been made, but everything was clicking today. I made some putts that I needed to make. I made a good save on, I think it was 12 or 11. I made a real good save there that, I just hit a bad iron shot there and in the bunker and got it up and down.
You must be liking those tartan jackets. Go be in line for number 3 here headed to the weekend.
I'd love to have a number 3. That would suit me just fine.
The host of Golf Weekly, Daniel Court, joins me to talk about today's rounds. Let's talk about the leader right now, Colt Knost. What a round he had.
I'll tell you, I actually am doing some work with Adventure Radio, and I followed that group, well, both Colt Knost and Harris English. Colt Knost, there is nothing about the way he's played in his career or even this year that would give any indication that he would be on this leaderboard, let alone leading. But in following him, he made sand saves on 2, 5, and 9 to keep his round together. He was blemish-free, no bogeys, and was striking the ball beautifully. But, to have the control of your ball striking and your short game working around here, no surprise watching him play today that he's in the lead.
What about English? He had a good round, too.
Yeah, this guy is rise. I talk about a star on the rise immediately. Most people may not know this, but Harris English actually won a nationwide event while he was still a student at Georgia. That's almost never happens. I think it's happened one time in the history of the nationwide tour. So, he was already a force to be reckoned with, but was an All-American at Georgia, is a rookie on tour this year, and has actually contended already in about 3 tournaments. So, watching him play out there, the way he carries himself, totally confident, strikes the ball brilliantly. And on number 8, one of the hardest holes on the golf course, it plays 470 yards. He hit it left in the bunker, green side, had no green to work with, chips it in for birdie to go back to 6 and stay right on the heels of Colt Knost. Very impressive looking young player, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him right in the mix on Sunday.
Chad Campbell started the day in the lead, still did well today, but not in first place anymore.
Well, Chad had one of those rounds that you really have to have. It's hard having the lead overnight or being around the lead. For one, you have to sleep on that. So to shoot 71 under par and be just 4 shots off the lead, he's in great position. And heard him in an interview. He sounded really comfortable with where he was, said that he's just been really hard on himself the last few years. He's taken it easy, not taking it so seriously. So I think he's in the right frame of mind. I would look for Chad to also be in the hunt come the weekend.
Daniel Court, thank you so much.
Thank you, Allie.
The 18th hole at Harbortown Golf Links today was absolutely jam-packed at noon today. The reason? A Boeing 787 Dreamliner cruised over the 18th fairway and golf hole. Well, we had a chance to speak with Jack Jones. He's the Vice President and General Manager of Boeing in South Carolina.
We're going to take this thing, drop it down 1,000 feet off the hard deck. We're going to fly it right down the throat of the 18th hole, and it's going to be beautiful.
You have some employees here to watch?
We have many employees here to watch because they like seeing it just as much as the rest of the world. And if you look at the swoop of those wings, watch it. They will be swooped up, they'll be gulled up and it's pretty impressive. One of the features of this aircraft that impressed the airlines is the fuel efficiency. Tremendous fuel efficiency. From that standpoint, about 20% better, 18 to 20% better than the 767 that it replaced.
Why did you decide to become involved in this tournament?
You know, one of the things that you'll find when Boeing moves into an area or region, the one thing we want to do quickly is integrate ourselves into the community. And when we heard about the Heritage and they were looking for support, additional support, we jumped right on it because of the Heritage. Two things, the Heritage, and it's a quality event. Boeing likes to associate themselves with that. The other one that we appreciated and really felt would be a good use of our money was about $1 million of the dollars we gave to this event went to charities, local charities.
How are you going to feel when that Dreamliner goes over the 18th today?
Proud. I say proud because a big piece, in fact several pieces of that aircraft built right here in South Carolina. So it won't be just me that's proud. I think you're going to see a lot of proud people in those stands.
It's the hardest hole to make par, not only for Harbortown Golf Links, but for all the courses played on the PGA Tour.
Hi, I'm John Farrell. I'm at the 14th hole at the Harbortown Golf Links, home of the RBC Heritage. Harbortown is very unique in that it's one of the few places on the tour schedule where the public is welcome to play. And at first glance, if you were to come to play here and you took a look at our course ranking on our rating on our scorecard, you'd see our 18th hole, as far as rating and level of difficulty is concerned, is our 14th hole. However, an interesting statistic that very few people know is that on the tour schedule for the PGA Tour, the 14th hole is consistently ranked as the most difficult hole in the entire year relative to par. But it's our 18th handicap hole. I'm going to give it the best I got here with a 4-iron from 192 yards. Now the angle I took is a pretty popular angle for the PGA Tour players and our members and guests. It's safe on the left side of the green.
There is a lot to do here in the Low Country, in addition to watching great golf at the RBC Heritage.
When you're at the RBC Heritage, one of the things you don't want to forget is there's over 300 tennis courts on Hilton Head, and there's always a local looking to pick up a game.
When we come back, a look at a shopper's paradise right here at the RBC Heritage. 2 years ago, Jim Furyk won here at Harbortown Golf Links. We spoke with the host of WHHI's Golf Weekly, Daniel Court, about his game.
Jim Furyk is probably what we would call a tailor-made player for Harbortown. He drives the ball, every year ranks in the top 5 to 10 on tour and all-around driving, but he ranks in the top 5 or 10 every year in the two most important statistics for scoring, which is scrambling, all-around scrambling, and putting. Now last year, Furyk had what he calls his most difficult year on tour in both those statistics. Now he did something really cool, which he says he went in somebody's garage and grabbed just a random putter, and it's revived his putting game. So I expect, and he says he's had a revival with his putter, and his stats thus far this year in 2012 prove that. He's back in the top 10 in all-around putting this year. So I suspect that he's going to come back to Harbortown with a kind of renewed sense of that championship form, which led him to the 2010 overall FedEx Championship. So Furyk is always a threat around here because at Harbortown, it's not only important to hit fairways, it's important to hit sections of fairways. And with his laser-like irons, he's going to be hitting these little greens, going to be hitting it close, and his putting on form always makes him a threat to win this thing again.
No trip to the RBC Heritage would be complete without a stop at the merchandise tent, and that is just what we did on opening day.
We're really excited. We're excited because we have the RBC as our sponsor this year, and they've provided a lot of great opportunities for great props, as you can tell with the golf bags here, as well as our presenting sponsor, Boeing. We've got some neat items in there as well. And then, of course, my favorite is our tartan plaid merchandise that we had custom made for the tournament.
Tell us about some of that merchandise.
Well, let's start with the tartan plaid, since I've already just discussed a little briefly about it. We've got tartan plaid headwear, we've got tartan plaid skirts and men's shorts, which are really fun this year. That's new. We also custom made some really fun tartan plaid men's and ladies shirts. They're color blocked with the tartan plaid on the sides.
That sounds neat. What else is of interest here? Will we be drawn to when we come in?
Well, it's been interesting. We opened the tent Saturday at 12, and what's been kind of fun, besides of all the items I just discussed, is the Ricky Fowler Puma line. A lot of people are really enjoying to see a lot of the flat bills, and it's actually interesting. I'm seeing, obviously kids are enjoying wearing it, but actually I've seen some older adults that are grabbing the hats too and putting them onto the side. We did our own version of the flat bill with our Harbortown Lighthouse logo. Well, I think what we have in our shop it's something available for the golfer and the non-golfer. Yes, we have a lot of RBC golf apparel, but then at the flip side, we've got great glassware, great accessory items. We actually have a lot of we have women's handbags and real fun spring hats and straw hats as well.
The lottery is fun to play, you have to admit it. But you know what? On a serious note, it has brought in billions of dollars for education in the Palmetto State. Let's check in with John Byrne of WHHI-TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 44th edition of the RBC Heritage Golf Tournament here at Sea Pines. We got Paula Bethay with us again from the South Carolina Education Lottery. Paula, it's always fun to catch up with you each and every year at this tournament, and this is a special year. Not only is it the 44th year, but we have two big new sponsors with RBC and then, of course, Boeing. And the lottery's involved, a lot of other vendors involved. But this is a big event for the state of South Carolina and an event that you all obviously take a lot of pride in being a part of.
Absolutely, and we cannot say enough thank yous to our two major sponsors, and quite frankly to all the people who made last year possible to get us to this year. But boy, if you were out on 18 today and saw the flyover of that Dreamliner, it was a proud day, a proud day.
Yeah, it really is. Boeing moving to Charleston has had a huge economic impact up there. They obviously are sharing that impact with us here at the tournament and showcasing what they're working on. And when you talk to some of the staff that are working at the plant up there in Charleston, there's a lot of excitement. They've done a great job.
They've done a wonderful job. They really have. And the fact that today we could see what's going to be rolling off those assembly lines is just very special.
Well, and a lot of those people that work on those assembly lines have families who have children in high school who apply for the benefits of the South Carolina Education Scholarship, and it's up to now $2.7 billion over 10 years. Tell us about it. I mean, it just keeps getting more impressive.
Well, it's a great year for our golf tournament. It's also the 10th anniversary this year of the Education Lottery, and we've been able to transfer over the last 10 years almost $2.7 billion for underpinning and improving education in South Carolina. And, if you think about that, $2.7 billion over the times of the greatest economic challenges we've faced ever, it has made a profound difference for students in the state of South Carolina. And quite frankly, it's why I go to work every day. It's why our 130 plus employees go to work every day, because we realize that we're not only making a difference for today, but hopefully we're making a difference for tomorrow as well.
Well, as we were talking earlier before we started this, $2.7 billion, I don't know what that is. That's just a lot of zeros.
It's a lot of zeros. It's more zeros than you and I probably would have to deal with.
That's right. But all to help kids and education in the state. Just a fantastic job. What's coming up in year 11?
Well, we are doing great. We just had an historic jackpot with Mega Millions, largest jackpot in the history of the world ever. And we sold a lot of tickets, and because of that, we're going to be able to help education even more. But there's always something new at the lottery. Every 5 minutes there's something new. It's like the weather in the low country. If you don't like it, you wait 5 minutes and it changes.
That's right.
So it's just great. It's a wonderful place to be able to go to work. And when you can marry your passion for me, which is education, and what you do for a living, is just the best of all worlds.
Well, hey, it's always great seeing you. Welcome to the 44th edition of the RBC Heritage. And, folks, we'll be back with you.
And thank you for what y'all do.
Thank you.
Coming up, what to look for here at Harbortown Golf Links in addition to golf.
Pine warblers, of course, are one of the first birds. You'll hear them going trrr, trrr, as they're nesting high up in the pine trees in this season.
Harbortown Golf Links is certified as an Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary by Audubon International. So what about it? Well, in addition to watching for birdies by players, you can watch for some great birds out here on the golf course. We spoke with birding expert and author Diana Churchill.
Well, on this golf course, a typical low-country golf course, you'll find pine forests, some little pine woodland areas. You'll also find maritime forest, which is typical, has live oaks, saw palmetto, wax myrtle, some scrubby, brushy, red bay sort of habitat. And then you can find your open, grassy areas. Pine warblers, of course, are one of the first birds. You'll hear them going as they're nesting high up in the pine trees in this season. Little brown-headed nuthatches sound like squeaky toys, bathtub squeaky toys in the pine forest. Sometimes you'll find as well yellow-throated warblers nesting up into the pine trees as well. In the maritime forest, you're likely to see things that like scrubby, brushy areas like towhees, your Carolina wrens, cardinals. Nesting up in the oak canopy would be parula warblers, yellow-throated warblers, blue-gray gnatcatchers. Our wonderful eastern bluebirds love open areas because they like to come down into the grass and look for bugs, as do great crested flycatchers, eastern kingbirds, and even American robins might be out on the grassy areas. Great diversity of birds on the lagoons, and they're wonderful because they're larger and easier to see. Your herons and egrets, great egrets, snowy egrets, great blue herons, white ibis, all of those could be around a lagoon. And then fishing in the lagoon, you might have double-crested cormorants. A little late maybe for hooded mergansers, but there still could be some around this week in the second week of April.
And tell me again, this second week of April, it's a big time for birds, isn't it?
It is. Not only are the resident songbirds heavy into nesting, but we're getting the migrants coming through. Some of them are going to destination this area for nesting, like painted buntings, summer tanagers, orchard orioles. Others are just going to be passing through.
Only 5% of all golf courses in the U.S. are certified by Audubon International.
Coca-Cola Consolidated is one of the original sponsors of the Heritage, and Ashley Riley joins me now. Ashley, thank you for making the Heritage such a success all these years. But in addition to your sponsorship support, you all recently had introduced a recycling program, which is really, really cool and very important to our area. Let's talk about that.
Yes, well, obviously, environmental awareness is at an all-time high, and it's more important than ever that we keep these grounds beautiful and maintain that as best we can. So we recently introduced a recycling program. We have about 130 bins placed throughout the course. We have some great volunteers that help us collect at the end of each day, and at the end of the week we should have about 10 tons of recycled material.
It's amazing just to think about that effort in getting all of those cans and bottles recycled for future use. And it's fun because it's easy to find the recycle containers.
Yes, we have some that look like bottles. Hard to miss those. And then we have some other ones that are white barrels that have the recycling logo on the front. Those are actually refurbished syrup barrels that we've taken from our own plants and changed into recycling barrels.
Brilliant, which is awesome. You guys are, again, setting the pace and setting the example for these.
We're trying.
Awesome. So again, how many are out on the course?
About 130.
So you cannot miss it. So when you've got the bottles or cans, make sure they go into the recycle bins because you're really helping make our area just more beautiful, if that's possible. But you all are helping so much, and thank you again for your support.
Thank you.
All of that from Coca-Cola Consolidated. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks.
That's going to do it for this edition of the RBC Heritage Golf Report on WHHI-TV. Thanks for watching. We'll be on again tomorrow night at 8 and 10 p.m. We'll see you then.